And we are live. It is the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com. The live edition. I don't really have here was kind of the thinking tonight. If we did like a planned nightcap, right? I have no idea how long that information is going to be relevant. So we just decided we're going to open things up. We're going to talk, and we'll see where it goes. So let's get to it. It is brought to you, as always, by Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get yourself there Sunday or Wednesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner. Time to pump it up. Save yourself 15%. How do we have 150 people in 1 minute?
Bananas.
You guys are nuts. I love you guys so much. Or go to the app, have it delivered, and they will bring it anywhere pretty much inside the 275 loop, and you can get your Galactic Fried Chicken fix. All right, I'm on bourbon number 2. Going with my favorite. Maybe it's a good sign today,
Cheers.
Aaron. I went to my spot, my bourbon spot, and my normal bourbon is like the one I've been like relying on. My go-to has been out of stock for a couple weeks because it's a specially made one for this company. And I went in there today and they had 2 bottles. So I bought them both.
Thanks for the super sticker, Luke. We appreciate
you, Luke. And then up top we had Lucas.
New member for it's a night of Luke's, apparently.
Yeah.
As we say goodbye to another Luke. Daniel, we appreciate you as a new member. Thank you, sir.
So first off, I just want to tell you guys, every time I think I know something, somebody tells me that what I think I know is wrong. And I have great sources on this.
At least you didn't go to Twitter with it.
The reason I haven't gone to Twitter with it is because you have to be multi-sourced in this business. You can't just run with one person told me something.
Yeah, you have to vet your sources.
Right.
Dave, thank you for the donation. We appreciate it.
So I get information and then I call there's 4 or 5 people that I really, really trust. And then when you get down into the micro, okay, I know this person, Joshua Ayers, thank you, new member. I know this person that knows the candidate, or, I have a connection. Nobody knows anything. And the people that do think they know something, I check with the next person, and the next person's like, I wouldn't run with that. I don't think that's necessarily true. So I don't know. That's the weird, because you build these sources. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years, man. You build these sources and you rely on them so much. Queen City Sportswear. Galati in the house. What's up, brother? You build these sources so that you can lean on them specifically in these situations. Richard Smiley, you guys, good Lord.
Who is the mystery?
I don't know. I don't freaking know. Look, here's the thing. I almost always know.
Thank you, J.A. Strong 513. We appreciate the donation. This is it getting out of hand.
I almost always know, right? I'll come on here and tell you guys and I'll be kitschy and I'll drop hints. I don't know. I don't know.
This is the best question I've seen in the chat so far. Why doesn't John Cunningham work for the CIA?
Because the CIA has leaks. Somebody said that
moles.
On the board today.
They have moles.
They have people that let information get out. John Cunningham does not have people that let information get out. Okay, we'll start at the top. There's 300 of you in here now.
Yep.
The flight to Jackson, Mississippi, I don't freaking know. I can only think of
box?
one thing.
What's in the box?
Right. I can only think of one thing. The only thing I can think of is that Jeff Brantley, who made a lot of money.
Thanks, Landis.
I feel as if John Cunningham's trolling us. I agree. He's trolling me very specifically. Very specifically. The only thing I can think of, and I called Mo. Mo was at Reds Fest. Mo is working behind the scenes to see if there's any truth to this. Jeff Brantley was in town for Reds Fest. Maybe that plane was Jeff Brantley going home. I don't know. John Cunningham getting NIL money from Flex Seal after this. Chris DeBoard with the $2 super sticker. Thank you, Chris. You guys are crazy tonight. Look, we talked about this the other night, Aaron. When a coaching search starts, John Cunningham goes from ally to opponent, right? Like, he is doing everything to keep the information from me. I am doing everything to get the information that he doesn't want me to have. That's just that's just how this works. There's no ill will. And I'll tell you what, if we got a press conference on Monday, I'm going to shake that man's hand and say, well done, sir. Well done. Because you have my head spinning. And this is what I love about, this is my favorite, maybe my favorite part about these things, Aaron, is you never know. So like today was so quiet. So quiet. And then all of a sudden we get into like 7 o'clock tonight and just a sandstorm blows through town. Remember that windstorm like 15 years ago?
It was a hurricane, Chad.
Well, it was a hurricane somewhere else, and it ended up here.
It was the hurricane. It was the hurricane that destroyed New Orleans.
Yeah. Was it?
It was Katrina.
I don't think it was Katrina. I think there was a different. No, I'm not talking about Katrina. There was a different one that, like, just randomly, it wasn't expected to be that bad here, and then it shifted north and hit.
It was in like 2007, I think. 2007, 2008.
I don't think that's the one I'm talking about.
Where it knocked out power for the entire city for like 3 days?
No, I'm talking about one that was kind of a surprise.
Oh.
That like just we thought we were going to get like some remnants, and next thing you know, it's like
in the chat. I should have known. It's already everyone's in the chat. Ivan, 2008. Yeah, it was 2008.
2008. Yeah, it wasn't Katrina. I know it wasn't Katrina, but like that's he's crushing us right now. I'm getting my ass kicked by John Cunningham. And I'm okay to admit it.
It's like 10-9, 10-9, 10-8, right? Like it's not even close.
It's like 10-8, 10-8, 10-9, 10-8. Like I'm losing. We're on hot board 4.0, whatever. I'm losing every round by a lot.
Eyes swollen. You're getting the
right.
The lip is split. The eye is swollen. I don't quite have the knot on the forehead yet. You know, when they get those big, like stuff is running out of your eyes, nose, and mouth. No idea what any of it is, but it's definitely running.
Right. I'm getting my ass kicked here because nobody knows. I talked to someone tonight. Yeah. Vaseline all over the face.
Yeah, for sure.
I talked to somebody tonight that knows a couple of the most prominent national voices in college football. And they have no idea. Like nobody knows. It's wild.
Speaking of wild, you all have officially eclipsed the highest number of people in any of our live chats, as we're now over 350. Thank you.
McMurphy says Golish, the 9:40, so 4 minutes ago. Brett McMurphy says Alex Golish has taken the South Florida job.
Thank you, J.
Todd.
Oh my God.
Todd.
Biggest donation we have ever gotten, Todd Cunningham. We appreciate you. I know you've been a long-standing person.
I mean, he owned the site. He hired me.
Right. I'm saying, like, I'm very, very aware. Me. Although I've never met you, thank you for everything that you've put into this.
So Golish is apparently off the table. Kyle Simpson, new member. Thank you, sir. Let's see.
I think you owe Todd a private dance. Chris Brandenburg, thank you for the donation, $20. Good Lord. We appreciate it.
A source that I think I can guarantee you. Chris, $20.
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
Appreciate you all. Okay, sorry. I just talked to somebody that has deep ties in the Linder Center. Got a text that said, people I've talked to in the building don't know anything. And this is someone they would trust. Like, this isn't someone that's like milking them for info so they can make it public. This is like a friend, like, hey, what's going on over there? And nobody in the building knows anything. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't wait to tell you the story of that text when we get done with this. Whatever.
I have another story for you as well. I can probably talk about that one here. Go
ahead.
My mom, she worked for a car dealership that was also the same car dealership that provided the car that went to Nippert for the last year when they brought the car in for the recruits to have pictures with the car on the field and all of that. They did call and book that car for, I believe, sometime in I know the date, but I'm not going to drop that here. But sometime in the next week or so. And that is still on the books. They did not, even with Luke Fickell leaving, that did not come off the books, which is odd to me. But that's still apparently going to be a thing for however many recruits are still in this class.
Galati says, Galati, I love the idea. Galati says, and if you don't know, Queen City Sportswear, 513 shirts, all the same thing. Mike Galati, Republic of Cincinnati, like giant Bearcat sponsors and fans. He sent me a text that said he's got a shirt ready that says, I survived the 2022 coaching search at Bearcat Journal.
Is this going to each of us? Do I get one of those?
Well, Mike Aaron's going to need one, but it's going to go for sale for everybody.
Thank you, Mick, for the super sticker.
No, I got hair. My hair's great. It's gray. Great head of hair. I am wearing the crispy black, the crispy new black. I probably should be wearing the red tonight because it's a little hot in my office and I'm sweating a little bit. Let's go with the red. Fred Durst.
For those who keep asking about Dana Beers, as far as I know, he is still scheduled to be joining us.
The plan is for him to come on
Monday. Right.
Yeah. Brett Young, what are you doing?
How drunk are you right now, Brent? You're supposed to be sending the request to Chad's Venmo for money.
No, you're supposed to be asking for a link to come in and talk with us because we're just rolling. A great head of gray hair. It is a great head of gray hair. Put up the flight tracker live. You paused the video. Did you miss anything? No, I don't know that there's anything to miss. Like, I think tonight we all just needed a space to hang out, right?
Yeah.
I don't know any, like, I don't know what I can tell you. Like, if I have to go dark and answer calls, whatever, like, maybe I do. That's why we probably, if you're on the Bearcat Journal team, Gregory D. Silverman, $10. Thanks for all the hard work. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
This is insane. I might be able to feed your family.
I just got a text from Brent. He's currently at the Big Ten championship game.
He just sent us $100 from the Big Ten championship game.
He must have won big tonight in Indiana, where it's legal to gamble.
Oh my god. Still good with my original timeline. Like, Sunday, Monday at the latest is what I've heard the entire time. I've heard a lot of rumblings tonight that we could know something by tomorrow morning. I can't guarantee that. I can't say that is 1,000% true. Scott says this whole donation thing is weird. Serious OnlyFans vibes. Scott, we do this for a living. Like this is what we do. So if people want to support us, they're more than welcome to support us. Like, I don't know what's weird about it. I haven't shown my nipples on this stream ever, I don't think.
I would probably not be.
You have almost shown your nipples on this stream.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I have. Actually.
I didn't say yeah. Your nipples. You might have
with my cut.
There might have been a pink in the summer.
A couple nip slips. Lucas, thank you for the 513 donation. I love it.
Hold on a second.
Chad, what's
the problem? Only Chad's.
What's the go-to bourbon you found today, Chad?
Okay, well, I'll go get it and show you guys. I've showed it before, but it's limited. So hold on. Aaron, talk for a second. Well, answer some stuff.
I'm here by myself.
For 1 second. I just got to walk in the other room.
It's fine. I'm not mad. Chill out. People asking now for nipples in the chat, and some are also saying no nips. The neon BCJ sign might be strong enough to penetrate the top. I heard Chad has the next UC coach written across his chest, and it's up to us to donate enough money to get him to take Thrifty Walrus is just always coming in with the funniest shit, man.
Okay, so this is it. It's from a company called Redemption. It's their high rye, and you can only get it at a place called Good Spirits. There's 4 of them in Northern Kentucky. I know there's one in Covington, one in Latonia, one in Erlanger, and then one right by me, essentially Ellesmere Independence. And this stuff, it's 105 proof, but it's maybe the smoothest whiskey I've ever had. Like, it just goes down so easy. And then after 2 of them, and Aaron can attest to this, after 2 of them, sometimes
you get a little slurry.
You're slurring your words, and you're like, how did that happen? I just had 2 glasses of bourbon while we were doing 4 hours of content.
It's always funny when I get to call you out after those shows where I'm like, Chad, how many of those? Oh, you had the goods. There it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
I didn't go with 4 roses. I normally go with 4 roses. Sometimes I go with this.
2 more donations. Your Uncle Mike, not my uncle, but he's your Uncle Mike. $10 donation. We appreciate that. And Mitch P with the $10 super sticker. Appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, I want more live messages from Brent while he's at the Big Ten game.
He sent me a picture of how close he is.
I would assume, knowing him, I'd assume.
It looks like I'm seeing roughly 4 or 5 rows of heads in front of him.
Taylor, why is everyone stripping? Taylor, no one is stripping.
There were $100 donations, and we are officially over 400 people live in the chat. We have never eclipsed 400. Thank you to all you knuckleheads out there who decided to spend your Saturday evening with us.
Aaron, don't call them knuckleheads. They might get upset.
Yeah. Brent did want us to know that he just loves us.
Oh, we love you too, Brent. We love you too. Seriously, thank you all. The goalish thing. I mean, I thought there was momentum at one point yesterday where I thought there were a lot of people that thought he was going to be the guy, and then he wasn't. Andrew, my guy Andrew Ganser. Confirm, recap the facts you've released on the board. Ooh.
It's a big ask.
Here's the problem, Andrew. I don't even know what are facts anymore.
I think we are in new space here where I was actually giving Chad information before we went on this.
Aaron has heard something that we can't get into yet, but
correct. It's all unconfirmed. I mean, I have one source as opposed to needing to check on this one source.
So,
Mike, we appreciate the $20 donation as well. We appreciate everybody in here with us.
So I was told last night that Alex Golish, the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, while he wasn't necessarily out, he was no longer trending towards the front of the list. And there was a point yesterday where he was trending towards the front of the list. A lot of people ran with that and then had to lock their Twitter account. But as the day went on, all of a sudden that backslid. And the information last night was that he was no longer a primary candidate. He was more of a secondary candidate. I got that same news kind of on Sean Lewis today, that he wasn't a primary guy, that he was a secondary guy. Now,
Rhino, welcome to the club.
Rhino. So, I mean, I could have ran with Sean Lewis because there was a lot of momentum behind Sean Lewis throughout the whole week. Like, he seemed to be like offensive minded, has coaching experience. Doug Phillips. Wait a second.
Joker?
No, Doug. Doug. Like Youngstown State head coach Doug Phillips. Is that you, Doug? Luke Fickell's first right-hand man? So there was a point where Sean Lewis had all the momentum. And then again today, I've got this message that Sean Lewis has come back to the pack and it's not exactly a primary guy anymore. And I don't think Gino is involved. So if that's the case, then we don't know shit right now, right? Like, we don't know anything. That's kind of where we're at, is trying to figure this out. Can I completely rule out? I know we're at 1 million views on everything. Look, what has happened at Bearcat Journal over the past 8 days, we'll get into in a little bit. We're talking the actual search right now. I do want to talk this with Aaron in a little bit, but I think there might be a couple names that we took off the hot board that maybe I shouldn't have, which I think is a possibility. I think there are names that John Cunningham has just done an awesome job keeping everything in-house.
I don't know. I don't know who to rule out anymore. I don't
either.
I feel like I don't know. I don't know.
I left Jason Candle on the list. And people are going to get mad at me for this one, Aaron. I left Jason Candle on the list today because they played in the MAC championship game today. And there's been a lot of talk today that it could be someone that was playing this weekend, right?
Okay.
What I didn't even realize through all this is the first name that was ever given to me as this search started was Mo Linguist, the head coach of Buffalo. Guess what, Aaron? Buffalo wasn't playing for a MAC championship, but Buffalo played yesterday because they had a game to make up because of the snowstorm in Buffalo.
Sure.
So there's a chance I screwed up.
6 feet of snow.
Right. There's a chance I screwed up taking Mo Linguist off the list prematurely. If anybody wants to know, that's like the one that I like, the one that was on the list that isn't on the list anymore. I'm worried about that one coming back to bite me in the ass. Leonard is staying to be the defensive coordinator at Wisconsin. Yes. Mo Linguist would not be great. I'm just telling you, you guys are here for me talking through the process, right? I'm talking through the process.
If I'm Jim Leonard and you just had your program, literally you were the meat shield, and then Fitt comes in and essentially asks you to work under him, I'm bitter.
Well, Aaron,
Leonard's a better man.
Aaron,
he is a better man than me.
You know what I was told from day one of this whole thing? Jim Leonard is Wisconsin Luke Fickell. And what did Luke Fickell do when Urban Meyer came in and took over at Ohio State? He stayed, and he was the good soldier. He was the good lieutenant. He stayed at Ohio State and became the offensive coordinator during the Urban Meyer years, and then eventually he moved on. Jim Leonard just made the exact same move, did he not?
Do you want to hear my hot take?
Sure.
I kind of hope that Ohio State gets into the playoff, loses in the playoff, maybe to Michigan again. and Ryan Day is either run out of town or he takes an NFL job. And there's a vacancy at Ohio State. And Luke's up in Madison. He's up in Madison, Wisconsin, wondering how he just lost both of his dream jobs.
That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting.
I'd laugh. I'd laugh so hard.
Someone in my mentions, and I don't know if this is true or not, said the jet set to go from Lunken to Jackson tonight is a medvac plane. That would certainly change things.
Sure.
I don't know. That is Doug Green 1794D on Twitter. So I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not smart enough to know a lot of these things. All right, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of what I know, right?
Yeah.
Medvac plane. I didn't even know John Cunningham was sick.
That's good.
You guys are a trip. Start throwing names out just to create chaos. Look, Jeffrey, I would love to, but that's just not how. Unfortunately, it's not how we do things here. Everybody said it's a dumb take, Aaron. They would hire Mike Vrabel.
There were plenty of people who also said that it was evil and they loved it. So
good Norm reference. Thank you. What if it's urban? It's not urban. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe it is. I have no clue. This whole thing is insane to me.
Yeah. So is the fact that we are over 450 people in the chat. We have never hit 350, much less 450. Thank you again to all of the people who decided to spend their Saturday evening with us. Y'all are crazy.
450 people in the chat to hear me say, I don't know. Yeah, and I'm just going to tell you that, like, let's talk about some business side of things. I think from my point of view, and I know it will be held against me, like long term. This is the guy that during the coaching search said, he didn't know. I think it's important to say you don't know if you don't know. I would much rather say I don't know than lie to you guys and run. Like I could run with so much stuff. Like that's all I've done for a week is talk on the phone and listen to my phone buzz.
Apparently, that's not true. It's not a medvac plane. It's a fractional ownership plane, so it could basically be anything but that. I don't know anything about planes, so I'm going strictly off of whatever people tell me in the chat at this point.
What about the plane from Arlington to Lunken? I don't know. Like Reagan screwed up. Where's Reagan? Send Reagan an invite.
Okay.
Brantley was at Red Fest. Mo confirmed. So that's a possibility for that plane, that it was Jeff Brantley returning home. Ken Dog says, we may hear something in the morning. We should all go to bed now and make it move faster. Well, in the morning, make sure you guys all have this same energy in the morning because the Bearcat brunch is live at 10. So
I thought last week was their last one until after the bowl game. Or they decided
they're going live tomorrow. Yeah, they've decided.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not. Well, how could you leave now? Like now is the time to stay. Josh says if I can deal with his drunk ass at every game, you can support me saying I don't know. I'm just not going to lie to you guys. Like that's one of the things we need to say. How to get pictures of shoes at Lunken. I need to send Reagan a text.
I hope the news doesn't break during church and I shout an expletive. Well, if you do, you can ask for forgiveness right away. Santa doesn't come if you don't go to bed. It's true.
That is very true. So it's the Herb Street. Yeah, there we go. That's the first time we've heard that one. Herbie does live in Cincinnati.
He's got a pipeline directly to St. X.
Right?
And the GCL entirely, for that matter. Daniel Jacobs, thank you for the donation.
I'm going to get to Dan. Okay.
Let me produce.
Mo linguist, mo problems.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Santa lives in Ann Arbor. Can we stay on this podcast until they announce?
No.
If they announce in the next hour or so, maybe.
We just don't know what's happening.
Have we ruled out current senators? Now that we're P5, I think the pipeline may reverse from coach to senator to coach. Yeah, Kirk takes the UC job just to tank. Look, here's my only problem with Herb Street. I generally like Herb Street. I think he's good at his job. That son of a bitch knows it's not pronounced Cincinnati.
That's the worst thing he does, right? That's the worst thing he does outside of being Lee Corso's handler. That's the worst thing that he does.
He knows it's not pronounced Cincinnati, and he overemphasizes it. There's not a UH at the end of the goddamn name. All the other stuff I'm fine with. It's performance. It's TV. I get it. But every time he says Cincinnati, I want to take his knees out. And I'm one that doesn't like somebody spells Cincinnati wrong. It's not the easiest city to spell, right?
German AF.
Yeah, I don't get offended by somebody that can't spell Cincinnati. Where's the I? Where's the T's? Where's the A's? Like,
how many N's?
Right. It's not the easiest city to spell in the world. But that son of a bitch knows it's not pronounced Cincinnati. And it like my head wants to explode every time he does it.
Boom.
It's like Xavier. Yeah, we say Xavier because we know it drives their people crazy. He says Cincinnati because he knows it drives UC fans crazy. Absolutely correct. How are you expected to sleep? That's a great question. I got a basketball game to cover in the morning. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Pete's reporting that USF is finalizing a deal to make Alex Golesh.
Yeah, McMurphy just reported it too. So yeah. Golesh is off the board. And I'm told Lewis is no longer involved. I'm told Gino is no longer involved.
Congrats to him on a baby, by the way.
Yeah.
What a week. You think our week has been long. Imagine his week.
So I don't think he's going to get super mad at me for this. But I did talk to Gino at one point this week where all you could hear in the background was the cooing of a 1-day-old. Like that's tough to have to go through all this on the day that the day after or the day before or whatever that you have a child born. That can't be easy. It can't be easy.
Like I said, you think our week has been long. Imagine his week. Imagine her week. Goodness.
Don't Kentuckians say Cincinnati? I live in Kentucky. I've never heard a Kentuckian say Cincinnati.
Is Northern Kentucky really Kentuckians, though?
No, it's Cincinnati South. But being here, there's a lot of people from Kentucky here, right? Like, not just Northern Kentucky. Is there a chance Gino stays on? I would say no. You're not going to come in and be the OC for somebody at this point and where he's at in his career.
Not like Jim Leonard did?
No, I don't think so.
Might it depend on who the coach ends up being?
Maybe they could make a great offer that brings him back, but and this is kind of irrelevant now because apparently these two names are out. But Alex Golesh runs the Heupel UCF spread air attack, and then Sean Lewis runs the the Bryles, Dino Babers, air raid. Gino's not a disciple of either of those systems, right? So if you're going offense and you hire those two guys, Gino's not a guy that is well versed in what they've always done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't match. Because even if they're not the guy calling the shots on offense, they're not going to be looking for somebody that's not familiar with like how they've done things in their professional career. Am I sticking with the thing I said tonight about a decision being made? I had two people tell me they feel like it, like a decision has been made. Nobody confirmed it, but they said they feel like it. And I think some of that was maybe Alex Golesh and Sean Lewis were told, you know, you're not it. So then if it's not them, it's got to be somebody, right?
I'm also getting the feel from my source that a decision was made. That said, that doesn't necessarily mean that the recipient of said decision has also made a decision.
Right.
There's a lot of moving parts to this.
That's why we've not closed the door on multiple situations, because maybe you have a target. But if that target ultimately says no, then you've got to scale back to the other people that were on your list. Chad Cunningham says, I believe Herb Street said at one point as a tribute to either his father or grandfather who pronounced it that way. Still drives me nuts as well. You don't get to just pronounce a city wrong because somebody you know did. I say Tulsa and Tulane and mix them up because I'm an idiot. I get names wrong because I'm just not smart. I have a very bad problem of when I get something in my brain as to the way something is said, that I can't correct it. I can't shake it. There's nothing I can do. I don't like, okay, maybe that is it. Maybe his grandpa pronounced it Cincinnati. But you have to understand that you're insulting the people of Cincinnati when you go on national TV and say Cincinnati 100 times. Would make sense that Golesh took USF after, right? Yeah, absolutely. He was told not getting this job. So he took the USF job.
There are unconfirmed reports, and when I say unconfirmed, until Pete says it, I don't believe it, that Deion has informed his players that he is going to the University of Colorado.
There you go.
But again, nothing has come from Pete, and I sincerely doubt that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's a flight. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to out this person or say anything other than there is a flight from Jackson, Mississippi, heading to Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport in Denver, Colorado, and Deion Sanders is on the flight.
Are we sure Deion just didn't say UC and everyone assumed Colorado?
That what I just got is pretty solid confirmation. Deion's not coming to Cincinnati. Yeah. So you can put the Deion stuff to bed. I still have no clue why that flight went to Hey Mo.
I don't have a lot of time, but I'm here. What's going on?
Apparently Deion Sanders is on a flight from Jackson, Mississippi to Denver.
Okay. Well, that doesn't impact my life, does it?
No,
Okay,
not at
good.
all.
Very good.
I was sent the flight manifest, Mo.
You were?
I was. Somebody sent me the flight manifest.
Oh, and so Deion's on it. Who else? Who else is on that flight?
Tracy Edmonds.
Okay.
Shadur Sanders, Shalami Sanders, Rodney Forsett, Andre Hart, Kevin Mathis, Sam Marini. I don't know who most of those people are.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well,
so I guess that ends that, right? Like that.
So have we confirmed Jeff Brantley was indeed on the flight from Lunkin to Jackson? Is that the and no. And I'm gonna guess if Jeff Brantley was on that flight that he is drinking or he drank really well on that flight, knowing the Cowboy the way I do.
Sounds about right.
So where does this leave us? Where does this we're not getting Tennessee's offensive coordinator, right? That's not happening. That's he's going to USF. He's going to right?
Yeah, and from everything I've heard today, he was informed today or last night that it wasn't going to be him. Okay. So if it wasn't going to be him, of course he's looking for a job.
Now, right before I did this, John Sumrall's Wikipedia page had him as the coach at Cincinnati. We've seen this, right? Right before I did this.
Alex Polish yesterday, his page said head coach at Cincinnati.
But this may have changed over the last 5 minutes, but the first paragraph when it just sort of gives the brief summary, at the end of it, it's like he's now the head coach at Cincinnati, ! Which marks the first time I've ever seen an exclamation mark on a Wikipedia page.
Well, I mean, that's impressive.
That it really is impressive.
If somebody uses an exclamation point,
you don't get many of those.
They mean it. It's very serious.
Don't get many of those.
Somebody in the chat said, did Chad just say Salami Sanders? Is Deion big time enough to name his kid after a deli meat?
We will be on campus in 12 hours. Yeah. Right? In 12 hours. Are we going to know when we get to campus tomorrow morning? I mean,
there has been a lot of talk that I've had today that we'll know by the morning.
Right. Like
a decision is in, should know by the morning.
I get it. You're not going to have a press conference tomorrow. That's impossible. That would be stupid. They're not going to do that. But
Bengals Chiefs, you're not.
Right.
You're not.
Would be ridiculous. Nobody will be there. But we have to know tomorrow. So there's everybody we've crossed off your hot board, right?
Almost all of them.
So let me ask you this. And I have followed this and talked about it and I care. The MAC coaches and different coordinators we've talked about, has Jim Leonhard ever been a part of the consideration here?
I thought there was definitely some interest in Jim Leonhard. I just don't know that I don't know that Jim Leonhard is leaving. He's been announced tonight today. It's been reported he's staying to be the DC at Wisconsin.
Right.
I think he's just Wisconsin to the core.
Fine. But has he ever, was he a candidate? Was he somebody that the school reached out to?
I think he was somebody of interest. I don't know if they actually spoke, but I do think Eric Bieniemy in town, right?
Andy Reid's in town too.
Here's the problem.
Is in town too.
6 weeks. You're going to wait 6 weeks for your head coach, or maybe 2 months, 3 months for your head coach. The Chiefs are going to be playing well into January and probably February.
Yeah. So it's interesting because somebody said to me, you know what? Lou Anarumo has told people he would be interested in being a college football head coach. And I'm like, man, that's awesome. This probably isn't the right time, given the fact that it just the nature, even if the Bengals weren't in postseason contention, the last game of the regular season is on the 8th or 9th of, I guess the 7th or 8th, right? Yeah, the 7th or 8th of January. That's over a month from now. We keep saying time is of the essence. Well,
right.
It doesn't make sense to hire somebody from an NFL staff, much less somebody from an NFL staff, that might be working for a while. So I've never, not that I'm taking Eric Bieniemy seriously, but any of those possibilities I've never really taken seriously if the idea is get the guy on campus as soon as possible.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, you were on the air with me. You were on the air with me, Chad, on Thursday. You mentioned the name Sean Lewis, and then I watched the ats. I watched the mentions, and people were apoplectic. So clearly that's not going to make anybody happy, right? So who is the realistic candidate that at this point is going to make the most amount of people happy? Because obviously Deion Sanders is now off to Colorado. And so it feels like the big splashy sort of like the name that was going to galvanize people. We're not getting that. Who is the name that is going to pacify the most amount of people? Not that means pacifying the most amount of people means you hired the right guy, but who is the name that most fans are going to go, yeah, okay, fine.
According to the chat, it's Sumrall.
It feels like that. Yes. That I mean, I watched that game. Holy yes, sign me up for that. Sign me up for everything I saw that team do against Coastal. Yes, sign me up for that.
And he was on my original hot board. He was definitely somebody I was told. And here's the thing, I think, Mo, I need people to understand. Like the hot board, I just didn't like come up with out of nowhere, right? Like generally the way this happens at Bearcat Journal, you know as well as I do, Mo, Dave Simone is maybe the most crazy college football fan in the city. So Dave will send me a list of like, here are the names, both, G5 coaches, P5 coaches maybe looking to move. Here are the coordinators. And then it's my job to like make calls and say,
sure.
What's the word on this guy? What's the word on that guy? Sumrall was a guy that I agree with Dave. Dave has said repeatedly, he thinks that's a guy that's going to be on his current trajectory an SEC head coach in 2 years.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's do it. I'm in. Let's make the Wikipedia page. Let's make that become reality. I'm in. Like I'm here for him. Let's go.
He's interesting.
Sure.
Be good. Be interesting. Right.
Be good. Be interesting. And it feels like, so it's felt like everybody wants all these boxes and they all can't be checked off at the same time. You want head coaching experience. You want offense. You want young-ish.
He's defense though.
Sure, but I mean, boy,
he has a good offense at Troy.
He's got a good offense at Troy.
He played defense at Kentucky. He came up as a defensive guy, is what I'm saying.
But like their offense at Troy
is very good.
Yeah, right. So I'm in. Let's go. Let's make it happen. We can't be wondering tomorrow night. Like we're gonna know. We're gonna know tomorrow night, right?
Portal opens Monday.
Right.
I've heard heavy suggestions tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
But if you miss the morning window, you got a basketball game at noon, and then you've got Chiefs Bengals at 4:25. It can't get out during Chiefs Bengals, right? Like nobody's gonna give a shit.
I mean, it can get out, but I mean, obviously you can't say, hey, the basketball game is going to be over at 2. We're going to do a press event at 4 when.
Well, not a press event. I'm just talking about like leaking.
Yeah. So, I mean, go back 2012, right? Tuberville. Yeah. There was a noon basketball game that day.
They had a press conference at 4:30 or whatever.
It leaked. So I remember this day well.
It leaked at 10:30 in the morning.
It leaked at 10:30 in the morning. We played at noon. And I'll never forget it because it was today. It was Reds Fest Saturday. I had to go to Reds Fest.
It was whatever. And however many years ago.
10. It was 10 years ago. 2012.
Exactly 10 years ago. Yeah.
And I remember this, and so this is a little bit more information than you care about. I went out with the woman who's now my wife. It was like our third date that night. So we had a game at noon. I had to go to Reds Fest, and then I was going to meet her. But then the Tuberville thing happens, and the station's like, you got to be at this Tuberville thing. I'm like, cool. What about Reds Fest? Go there too. And I'm like, this really attractive blonde that I might marry one day. What about her? Don't care about her. So I go to the Tommy Tuberville thing. It was like 6 o'clock at night, right? Now, obviously, you're not going to do anything like that tomorrow. But, I mean, it can come out. It can be announced. It could be public knowledge. And
but
then
Bengals Chiefs is
right. And then it's, hey, tomorrow at noon, Monday at noon, Monday at 2, whatever it is.
We're gonna have the press conference.
We're gonna have the press conference introduced. I mean, you can do that. So all right, I don't have maybe more than a minute. Is there anything else you need from me?
I just need to tell you, I need to bring you a bottle of this.
What is that?
It's
Redemption.
Redemption.
Yeah.
It's their high rye, but it's the barrel strength, 105 proof high rye.
We'll bring that to the game tomorrow.
It's my favorite bourbon.
We'll bring that to the game tomorrow.
Well, I only have one other bottle, but they've told me they're going to be bringing more to Good Spirits. You know Good Spirits in Northern Kentucky?
Yeah.
They're going to be bringing more of these bottles this week. So when they do, I will get you one. It is my favorite bourbon right now.
I think you're paying me in the next couple of days for 4 bad columns.
Yes.
So you want to factor that into what you owe me.
Mo, here's the best part.
Yeah.
Doug, thank you for the donation, 513.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And it's only like $42 a bottle.
Yeah,
it's 105 proof. Like
people go crazy about like how much bourbon costs, and the good stuff isn't limited to the the $80 range. So
I will get you one, and I get paid on the 7th.
Well, we're good. I understand.
I'm just
all right. Well, maybe the next time.
Morning.
Maybe by then we know who the coach is going to be, and I mean, who should I be rooting for at this point? Just tell me who should I.
I don't fucking know, Mo.
Because here's my thing. Like, I got into it with some of these folks on Twitter on Thursday. I'm like, you know what? Whoever it is, do I have names that I think are more interesting than others? 100%, right? But whoever it is, are we not going to give him a shot? Like, is there anybody moving into the Big 12 who's like, they hired the guy from Kent State. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going to game.
Yes, they are. They're on my board.
There will certainly be people like that.
Sure, that's what they say they're going to do.
Right?
That's what they say, right? There's a lot of that. I work in the business where it's like, I'm never going to listen to you again. And then a week later, they send me an email like recapping everything I just said. So yeah, there's a lot of, if they hire the dude from Toledo, I'm out. And then they'll be, first Saturday in September. Where do I tailgate, dude? I thought you were out. I thought you weren't. Well, yeah, I mean, so I'm like, I don't know. What I do know is I'm going to give whoever it is a chance. I'm going to give whoever it is a fair shake. Will I be more skeptical about some than others? Of course, that's human nature. Would I be more excited about some than others? Of course, that's human nature. But is there anybody that I'm going to be like, dude, you're better off folding the program? Honestly, no here, man. I mean, do we think John Cunningham is an effective administrator? I think he is. Well, the reason you have an athletic director is to make these decisions. I'm going to defer to him. And if it doesn't work out, he'll be publicly held accountable for that. But this is a good program. I know there's no shortage of candidates. So that list of candidates has obviously gotten a lot smaller. I'm going to give John a chance to show what he can do in terms of hiring a football coach. And I'm going to give that coach a chance to keep the momentum moving forward. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow.
They want to know why I don't have more stuff in my background like you. One, we are renting right now, so I can't. But two, how about most of that stuff, like the bobbleheads? I've been around to see all of your bobbleheads delivered to a lot of your bobbleheads delivered to the studio.
Yeah, the Reds do send over all that stuff. Yes, the bobbleheads. Yeah, there's a lot of those. I got some new stuff today. I got some. I got a scorecard from the Royals' second to last game at the Cincinnati Gardens. I got winning basketball by Oscar Robertson. I picked that up today. I got what else here? Oh, I got a game program from a 1982 Cavs Pistons game at the Cincinnati Gardens. I'm always accumulating junk. This is another Royals scorecard, and whoever filled this out had impeccable penmanship. So there's the nonstop acquisition of stuff that is almost completely useless, including all the bobbleheads.
All right.
And the Mike Bones special UC jersey.
I wanted one of those, and you got it.
And then over here, I've got if you see, there's a Cedric McGowan game-worn vintage jersey from 2007.
The 1960 jerseys.
Not a whole lot of people sitting in their house right now admiring a Cedric McGowan game worn tank top.
I mean, I'm literally in like an 8x8 like closed in room. Like I don't have the ability to do what you do, but I've got stickers now, Mo.
What you do? I also have the Skyline Chili Crosstown Shootout basketball is available right now, and since we're on the Bearcat, there you go. Right now, available for a limited time at your neighborhood Skyline while supplies last. The Skyline Chili.
Thoughts on Tony courtside for West Virginia Xavier?
Not the first time he's been courtside at Xavier.
Who was he rooting for?
I don't know. We're gonna have
Here's
to find
the question.
out.
Was
find
he
out on Monday?
Was he? Look, full transparency. I have sat at the Cintas Center with Tony Pike. I'm not going to pretend I haven't done that, but I'm curious. I'm curious as Tony and I got our picture taken with a blue blob. I'm curious as to which team Tony was rooting for.
All right, go do your thing. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys. Thanks.
Appreciate you popping in.
All right, man. See you.
All right, there.
Mo said bye 10 minutes ago.
We're going to work on another guest. Reagan's going to pop in a little bit. Pete Thamel has announced Deion to Colorado. Yeah, Deion's going to Colorado.
Deion also put it on his Instagram. I saw it earlier in the chat as well.
Yeah. So Deion's not coming to Cincinnati. I don't know what else to tell you. Who is coming to Cincinnati? I don't know. Maybe Mo is the mystery. I'd take Mo as the head football coach. I don't know how much he knows about football, but I would take it. I'll give you my practice worn Geelon Gwynn jersey you could put up, Chad.
That's certainly something.
Like I said, I'm not allowed to nail holes in this wall behind me. I don't own this place. When Kelly got sick, we decided we didn't want to own because did I tell you we got our thing from the insurance on how much we had racked up in medical bills just from October 1st. It was I think November 18th was the cutoff. Yeah. October 1st to November 18th, before insurance kicked in. $198,000.
That's just silly.
She was in the hospital for 30 days, whatever. Sad Deion's not coming. Yes, I'm sad.
Deion was the best available candidate.
No, absolutely. I don't give a shit about that. Deion Sanders was going to make us very wealthy.
He checked all of the boxes infinitely. There were boxes for merchandise sales in the city. There were boxes for selling tickets to games. I mean, he would have been the face of the Big 12, and you cannot convince me otherwise. He's already the face of Madden. You log into Madden right now, and he's the face that pops up. So, yeah, I'm sad.
Yeah.
He was my number one the whole time. And I know there's people thinking that maybe they didn't make a push and all of that. I don't know that they did or didn't at this point. I'm sure that there's going to be information that comes out one way or the other eventually over time. But as things currently seen right now, obviously he has taken another job.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. We told you it was not likely from the start. We also told you it's what we all approved or wanted. No, if Deion staying through the Celebration Bowl, how was that a problem? They haven't hired a coach, Garrison. They haven't hired a coach. The Celebration Bowl ended today. The transfer portal opens on Monday. Today would have been fine. I think there's just, I don't know. Stu, 43-day stint in the hospital for Chelsea, $350,000 before insurance. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Michael Beers, yes, let's move on from Deion. It is what it is. Until he was signed anywhere, and until Pete Thamel had announced it, I was
holding out hope, right?
I was always holding out that 1% hope. Absolutely.
Right. But,
Deanna asked me a question specifically, was I rooting for OU today? I don't give a shit about OU. Sorry, I know I live in Athens, but I don't root for OU. If I'm gonna root for a small school, it's Wright State, and they don't have a football team, so I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, I don't like. Here's the frustrating part. Like, if we're being honest, the only thing that like I want to do is get this right, and I feel like I'm not going to get it right now. So I'm sad on that front. Honestly, I feel like I got outplayed, Aaron.
Celebration Bowl's on the 17th, Chad.
Oh, okay, whatever. I thought whatever it was tonight was they didn't play in the FCS playoffs so that they could play this game tonight. So whatever. But I give John Cunningham a hell of credit. Like he has outsmarted me in this one because I felt honestly, as we were going into yesterday, I felt pretty good about like Lewis, Golish, Gino, like that group of three. I felt pretty strong about. Okay, tonight was the SWAC championship. Okay. I'm sorry. I should know more about HBCU football, but I don't. The last time anyone saw JC was Tuesday. So, Bryant, we play noon tomorrow. What's basketball anymore? Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Good question.
Andrew votes for Gunnar Keel to be the coach.
I do want to say this though, I guess. Between your sources and mine and things that we've heard without outing anything too crazy, I think there ended up being a bit of a push for Deion at some point. I don't know if it was yesterday, today, a week ago, whenever it was.
That is your source. It is not mine.
Okay.
So I can't go down that road with you.
Fair enough.
Because my sources consistently have said it's not going to be Deion one way or the other.
Well, from what I've put together,
sure, and that's fine.
I think I have a good source. I don't think it's going to be.
No, look, I'm not trashing your source. I'm saying none of us know anything.
I just wanted to put that out there that it's not like me just getting with somebody willy-nilly. Like I think I have a good source, but I think it did pick up some traction. I just don't think it was. I don't think it was enough. But I guess I wanted to clarify for those who think that there wasn't an effort made there. I don't know to what extent that effort was made, but I think there was an effort made.
Sure.
For whatever that.
And I trust, like I know you're off the record. I know your source on the record in front of 439 people. Right. I know your source, and I trust that source as well.
Right.
I just think this Colorado thing was probably done really before or really far down the tracks.
Yeah, I guess
UC got involved.
Yeah, I guess what I put together is it was almost a Hail Mary effort put together once Colorado had the Colorado deal has been reported done since like midweek. So I don't know at what point they entered the conversation and when they bowed out gracefully, if that was even the case. It may not have been bowing out gracefully so much as groveling, and that's still not even working.
Right. Dave mentions Jeff Brom. Strangely enough, I have had a few people mention Jeff Brom to me. He's only got $1 million buyout. But, I mean, the man here's the thing. If you're in the Big Ten right now and you just made the Big Ten title game, why are you leaving the Big Ten? They have all the money, right? Like, you've got all the leverage if you're Jeff Brom at Purdue right now. You won the West. You played in the Big Ten title game. It's been a good game with Michigan so far. I haven't turned my head recently to see what the score is. But and they're a commercial right now. But it doesn't make any sense to me for it to be Jeff Brom. But I mean, who the hell knows right now? I don't know crap. 27-13. Okay, Michigan's pulling away. Excited for the Bearcats to play Louisville. Not in this particular state specifically.
Do we know who's even going to be playing in said bowl game?
Do we know who's going to be coaching in said bowl game? Do we know who's going to be playing in said bowl game?
The only person I know that's going to be coaching is Kerry Combs. Westside Jesus will be there.
Gun to my head, Sam, you're going to have to shoot me. Like, if you've got the balls to pull the trigger, then I'm going to be dead. Because I don't know. Like, I Cunningham has done a master stroke in how this is all played out. I think we're going to find out tomorrow.
That's an excellent point, Todd. No better time to hire Jeff Brown than right before you play UL.
Yeah. The sacred son. Confirm the band is traveling to the bowl game if you'd like something concrete. Thank you, Ben. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Evan Prater running Kerry Combs triple option in Fenway.
Thrifty Walrus is one-liners are so good. Thrifty Walrus is the one-liners are so good. There was a private flight from Arlington to Lunken after the Big 12 championship game.
I was told Garrett Riley is not an option. Maybe that person will be wrong, but I have a connection I think is pretty close to the Riley family, and they say it's not him. So it would be very surprising if it was Garrett Riley. Chris Kleiman, come on. The guy just won the Big 12 championship. He's going to play in a New Year's Six bowl. Like,
that'll be who we poach, sure. That makes sense.
Come on, guys. And that rumor was started from an Iowa State fan account with 300 followers.
Hey, coach. Any coach at this point.
Right? The transfer portal opens Monday. At least, here's the thing. At least, and maybe this, isn't as the bright spot that I see it as. At least we're not Wisconsin, who the day before Luke Fickell was hired, everybody in the Wisconsin media was 1,000% certain it was Jim Leonhard. They all had their guy. They had their stories written. They had everything like nailed down, exactly who it was going to be, how it was going to go down. And then it wasn't. Sharon Moore, Jesse Minner. Jesse Minner, I have not heard any heat on. I think Sharon Moore would be a great choice. Would be somebody that I've had my eye on, but I've never had his name come up, which would fit a mystery candidate profile. From what I've heard on Jesse Minner, his desire is to go back to the NFL. And he's not a guy that, John Cunningham talked about recruiting and aggressive and NIL. Maybe the hire's not going to be any of that. So maybe it could be Jesse Minner, but he doesn't seem to fit the profile. Offensive minded, big time recruiting, NIL. Kansas State and Iowa State are rivals, Farmageddon. From my view, that was an Iowa State fan account trying to troll Kansas State fans. So I know it got everybody worked up, and then you have the flight from Arlington. The flight from Arlington to Cincinnati could also be, guess what? A rich Kansas State fan that wants to watch Bengals Chiefs tomorrow. You fly your jet into Dallas, into Arlington, and you watch Kansas State win the Big 12 championship, and then you hop on that plane and you go to Cincinnati and you watch Chiefs Bengals tomorrow. If I had to guess, that would be what that flight's all about. It was it looked like a 10-12 seat.
Could have been Herbie.
Could have been. Have I touched on how odd Fickell didn't thank the university fans for his time here? Yes and no. I think something's coming. The timing has been very weird on everything. I do think there will be a thank you to Cincinnati from the Fickles. I just don't know when it's going to happen. Kurt Signetti, I've asked about him multiple times. I've been told he's not somebody I need to have on the hot board. Now, maybe that's them duping me.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, maybe it is. And more power to him if it is. On record, I've asked about him multiple times and have not gotten anything concrete. But here's my thing. If it was Signetti, why wouldn't it be done already? Why wouldn't it just be done, right? They didn't play for a championship this week. That could be done. Herbie, yeah, Herbie lives here, so yeah. He did briefly say thanks during his Wisconsin presser. I'm talking about a official,
right? There wasn't a formal thank you and all of that.
Just saying thanks to Cincinnati during your Wisconsin press conference. It isn't what I was talking about. Have I heard much on the current roster? There's only one of me, Norbeck. PC. No, not really. I mean, what I heard Renfro was entering the transfer portal. I posted that on Bearcat Journal. Right now, a lot of those decisions, those guys are still holding on to see who's going to be hired. I think Cunningham and Kerry Combs, who had a Zoom with the players and their families, I think Sunday night. I think they've got them in a position where they're going to wait to see what's next before they make any decisions. So I haven't heard much, but I haven't asked much. My focus so far has been cracking the code of John Cunningham and figuring out who the hell this coach is going to be.
Man.
It's going to be someone the coach today. There was definitely a belief from multiple of my sources that that's a likely outcome. Likely outcome. Here we go.
Hi.
Where have you been?
I was eating pizza and drinking beer.
So you were not at Lunken Airport.
Well, that's why I was late. I was doing both.
You were eating pizza and drinking beer at the lobby at the Lunken Airport.
Yeah. I don't want to dox myself, but I live extremely close to Lunken Airport.
Well, you didn't give out your address, but
yeah,
did.
Kind of.
Do you know where the private plane hangar is? If we need you to go there,
I've done several loops around Lunken, preparing for my husband's marathon. So I know where most things are.
Okay, but you weren't there tonight, scoping out the flight that left for Jackson, Mississippi, or the flight that was incoming from Arlington, Texas.
No, I was.
Okay. Well, what can you tell us?
Nothing. Should I go right now?
Well, no, it's too late now. Yeah, everybody, this is Reagan Yoakum. She's our correspondent, supposed to be our correspondent at Lunken Airport, but she was out getting sauced and eating pizza.
Getting sauced.
Reagan after dark.
Yeah, exactly. No, everybody that knows me knows that I'm not a big drinker, so I did have someone tweet at me to tell me to go to Lunken, so that was pretty funny.
But you ignored it.
I got your text and then I got the tweet at the same time. So I got here as fast as I could. So which one did you want me to prioritize, the show or Lunken?
Lunken.
Okay.
Why not both?
Lunken.
Okay, see ya.
Do the show on your phone from Lunken.
She left all the way.
What?
She left all the way.
Aaron was concerned that you were in your car on the way to Lunken.
Like right now or like when I wasn't
when you should have been an hour and a half ago.
Right. Well, Someone should have told me a little sooner. I would have been there.
Well, see, that's the thing with this job, Reagan.
Or at least watching from like
yeah. Why do you not have flight tracker like tail numbers?
There's a park that overlooks
alerts.
Lunkin.
Yeah.
Where did people get the plane numbers?
You go to to FlightAware, and then it'll show you all the incoming and outgoing flights from Lunkin Airport.
Really? I did not know that.
You're unaware of FlightAware? What
UCF superfan. I followed Reagan, and it took her being an employee for several months for her to follow me back.
I can confirm this.
I'm so sorry. I'm one of those people.
She's still working on integrating with the UC.
Well, that's not
Bearcat
true.
Journal.
I like to meet people, you know?
That's it.
I don't think she's ever spent 1 second on the Bearcat Journal message board.
We had certainly already met, but
when did we meet?
Your first day on the field, Reagan.
Really?
Still months.
I just remember. I think I met Justin.
Yeah, well, he's easy to remember.
Right?
Tall, handsome, has awards on a shelf. I get it.
To be fair, I also don't have a pretty background, Chad. So,
to be fair, the boards have killed everyone's brain cells.
Yeah.
Papa Bear.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So I heard that nobody's on the list anymore. Is that true?
No, the list is empty. There's no list. He had a the whiteboard, with the chart, and he just There's nobody left.
That's true, Jeff. That's true. I just followed Jeff, I think, like a week ago, maybe a couple weeks ago.
How'd you just follow Jeff?
I didn't know Jeff.
Thank you, Colin. We appreciate the donation with that awkward pause. Y'all can stop checking Flight Tracker at this point. I'm sure Cunningham paid GE to reopen their decommissioned airstrip in Peebles and is flying the candidate men under cover of night. I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
Yeah. This is our biggest show ever, Reagan.
Ever.
Oh, well, I feel honored.
We were so close to 500. I think we hit 496. But
we've had $200 donations, including one from Brent.
Oh, Brent is hammered right now.
We are also currently at 421.
Brent told me he's absolutely sloshed.
He's going to apologize and ask for the money back tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be like, can you send that back? And I'm going to be like, nah, bro. No.
He's going to send you a Venmo request for $100.
I'm going to decline that bitch like you wouldn't believe. If you are dumb enough to send us $100, I might just send it directly to Aaron. $99.99. I might just send it to Aaron.
I'm asking Chad for a Christmas bonus tonight.
Based on this podcast alone, I might send all of you Christmas bonuses.
Great. I just invested in a brand new camera for BCJ. So
you did.
If anybody questioned my commitment.
Anybody want to send some money into Reagan to pay for her camera?
If anybody sees those lovely photos on Instagram, that's all me.
Plus, now I've been using your stuff on the front page. I don't know if you've noticed or not.
I'm on the front page.
So now you've got front page pictures as well. Every time Berg writes an article, I put a Reagan picture in there.
Hi, Jeff.
Yeah. Explains the $100.
Yeah, I'm glad I came in with the real insider info. I'm sure Brent is going to be real happy with me about that.
So who do you want, Reagan? Who do you want? Everybody keeps asking me, who do I want as coach? Now, all the main candidates are out. We don't have anybody on the board.
Well, we
don't know what the hell is going on.
Our pets'
heads are falling off.
Pets' heads are falling off.
Yesterday, I really wanted Alex. This morning, I really wanted Alex. And then now Alex is happening.
Well, he didn't get the Cincinnati job.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
As in
like
they didn't want
they
him.
didn't like they told him no, like that he would have taken the Cincinnati job, but he didn't get it.
No, I understand that. I'm telling you what I wanted, and then it didn't happen.
Right. I'm just making sure people understand what we're like
Sure.
how what we're saying.
As BCJ though, Chad, and guys who wear backwards hats and have beards, collectively, all of us, except for Reagan, except for Reagan, obviously, clearly, wouldn't we be behind the Kent State guy with a beard that trumps all of us, all of our beards?
I only know one person.
All of our beards put together. All of our beards put together don't amount to his beard.
I only know one person with a better beard than him.
It's not Ed.
Aaron, come on. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Samaje P. Ryan.
My dad.
Oh, I felt so bad when I told him that he had food in his beard the other day.
My dad's got a sick beard. Say what you will. My dad's got a sick beard.
Down to about. I mean, it's not ZZ Top, but it's
wavy. Like
it's not ZZ Top.
Right. And we were eating at the Simone family tailgate, and I think he had a little breakfast roll, breakfast croissant type thing in his beard. He did. Aaron was like,
tell him Aaron did?
I didn't see it. Aaron was the first one to see it and gave him a heads up. And I was like, well, if you just fold it up, like you, then you got a whole meal right there.
They were asking if Statty's beard was.
I mean, it's not like my dad's, and it's definitely not like Sean Lewis's beard either.
Your dad has several colors in his beard as well.
Oh yeah, it's like brown and gray and
yellow.
Like it's
red.
There's some blonde in there, some red in there.
Yeah, there's several colors.
It's hard to explain. Unless you've seen it, my dad's beard is hard to explain.
I don't disagree.
You mispronounced Jason Kelsey.
Insert a picture of your dad.
Jason Kelsey has a phenomenal beard. I think Jason Kelsey's beard is maybe the thing that scared my daughter the most in her early life when I showed her a picture of "This is who you were named after."
Show her him singing.
Oh yeah,
Christmas carols now.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to the game tomorrow?
We have a basketball game to cover, Reagan, at noon, and then we have to come home and cover a coaching search and produce content.
But what about your daughter? She wanted to go.
I have to watch.
I can't go. Aaron has to watch.
Well, I will be at the basketball game, just so everybody knows. I'm not.
And then Lunken Airport.
Before the game, I'll be at Lunken. Ditching church, Lunken.
What's this church you speak of?
Decisions were made.
That is my church. The coaching search.
You're telling me.
Bold statement.
You're telling me.
I actually told I was with friends tonight. Shout out Caitlin and Connor. And there she is. She wants to go to the game, Chad.
How are you going?
I'm gonna sneak in.
Where are her pants?
They're right there.
Where are her pants?
Aaron wants to know where your pants are. They're on. They're just you can't buy a jersey smaller than that, Aaron.
Yeah, that's true.
That's having a 12-year-old daughter.
Just terrified.
4'9".
I'm 4'10" and a half. Get it right.
You can't buy. I mean, this is like the real deal. It's got the NFL thing. Like I went out and bought her a real damn Travis Kelce jersey.
I mean, I don't think
they don't come.
I don't think it was one. It's not like one that Jeff buys.
I have boxers on, anyways.
Yeah, she's fine.
I'm fine. Stop judging me.
Mine is under 1, and I was terrified for you.
Under 1.
My daughter.
Yeah, in 11 years, get back to me.
Yeah. Well,
it's Zach Taylor. Have Reagan cover the game. Takes her only 2 minutes.
Jeff got mad that I called him out on his jersey purchases.
Chris said her shorts match Travis's fit from Ruby's tonight. Aaron's in trouble.
Ruby's is just down the street from me too.
You are dropping the ball, kid. This is the best comment of
like just all the time. You're Jeff Ruby's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have Reagan cover the game. It only takes her 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2-minute warning for anybody wondering. Reagan's wildly popular branded show on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Bearcat Journal. Just search at Bearcat Journal and you will find all of Reagan's outstanding content from 2-minute warning to from the logo.
From logo.
Also on
which
YouTube.
You guys named.
Shout out Aaron for that one.
Where they're all clearly subscribed because we had 400 people in here. And if you are here and have not yet liked and subscribed, please do so. This is our most popular show we've ever done.
Ever. I'm sure at some point we'll do a show bigger than this one.
Sure.
But we are winding down with 386 people in this room right now.
Comment section is hilarious.
Reagan's hotboard 2.0 minutes. But Reagan won't follow you. Jason, don't worry. Everybody misspells her name. It's fine.
It's so true.
UCF super fans. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we gonna have another subathon until we get a coach? Is that what UCF superfan is suggesting?
Everybody like and subscribe. How close are we to 2,000 members, Aaron?
Reagan, have you gone back and watched the whole subathon?
No,
it's out there and available if you have 12 hours of your life to devote to that.
12 hours live and 15 or 3 more hours that weren't live.
Just leave it playing while you're like cleaning or something one day.
Oh yeah, I would love nothing more than to hear your two voices while I clean.
That's not very nice, Reagan.
I took her out. I took her out.
Yeah, exactly.
She's giggling in the lobby because she thinks she made it funny. Done with this one. Taking her off my buddy list.
She's out of your top 8, bro.
She doesn't even know she doesn't know that reference, Chad, nor does she know the buddy list reference.
Nope. She never had AOL or MySpace.
No, I had MySpace. That's not true.
Were you 7? Were you older than Kelsey that just showed up here with her Travis Kelce jersey?
Yes, I think. I don't know. I got a MySpace, and then I got a Facebook around the same time.
Interesting. The Lunkin to Jackson plane is on its way back.
Yeah, it's without Deion Sanders. He accepted the job at Colorado, and he's going to Colorado. He's on a plane to Colorado. I have it confirmed.
Or Jeff Brantley Zuber dropped him off.
Well, I mean, the plane's going to come back.
I'm like I said, Jeff Brantley Zuber may have dropped him off.
So is this coach going to be announced before or after the basketball game?
Fuck if I know. I don't know shit right now. I don't know shit.
Get that off the screen.
Do you know what that even means?
Yes, Aaron.
I don't know what we have to explain to you and what we don't.
Mansplain?
No.
Is this where teenage boys ASL other teenage boys in the lesbian chat room?
Generational splain, not mansplain. It was generational splain.
No, people would do that in Omegle.
You make sure that we know all the time how old we are.
Yeah, you have children.
My point.
And you both have gray beards. I think every time I see Aaron, he has a gray beard.
That's how that works. It doesn't go less.
Yeah. You don't get it. You never get it unless you've got like the just
you
for
dye
men
it, yeah.
Unless you're Ed.
My name's Paul, and that's between y'all. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Wait, no one answered my question. Before or after the basketball game?
I've heard morning, so we'll see. I hope it's not morning because I don't want to have to deal with that and the basketball game.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I think that with the circumstances of events that happened throughout the day today, that some things changed.
Yeah, that's clear.
So I think that you could have had an announcement at halftime of the basketball game. You could have had an announcement at the Bengals game.
BRB, I'm going to need to get some more bourbon. Bourbon number 3. So things are about to get loose.
About to get weird.
Wait, can you pull up Tom W's comment? Yes, I am.
Oh, is that your brother that played baseball?
No. That's Dwight Yoakam, the musician, the country singer.
Oh, I don't know what country singers are. I hate them all.
So do I.
No offense.
She's not related to Dwight Yoakam, people.
Yes, I am.
She just said she was, Chad.
Liar.
What's the connect there, Reagan?
I think it's on my dad's side, but that's all I know.
All right.
Liar.
I want to know who UCF superfan is.
He's a regular.
I know, but they're funny.
His money is on Sumrall, Minter, Lewis, or Candle. That's what UCF superfan says. And also that Dwight Yoakam is 100 miles from nowhere. Or 1,000, sorry. I missed the 0.
I still think there's a Mo-linguist element that we have to be weary of. Just saying. Head coach of Buffalo.
Well, Chad, we are an hour and a half into this.
Well, I'm trying to work on a guest.
Okay. Is it the next head coach?
No.
Am I getting kicked off?
No, you can stick around.
Oh, gee, thank you. I'm sure when you told everybody, yeah, I got a guest I'm working on, and then I popped in, everyone was maybe a little
thrilled. I mean, it's Reagan.
They were like,
you're becoming a very important part of the team, Reagan.
Cam, if that was JC on the flight to Jackson tonight, he waited way too long to try and get Prime. Well,
I mean, we don't know. Come on, guys. Come on.
I don't disagree.
Better that I have pants on now.
But you don't have your jersey on.
She has her jammies on.
Are you going to wear that stupid jersey all night or all day tomorrow?
Yep.
And I have to watch the game with you while you scream every time he does something?
I think Kelsey heard you talk about how many people were in the chat and she wanted to be part of the show.
Yeah. We're only at 346 right now. It's cooled down a little. We were at almost 500. Your hair's really long.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Chad did a live podcast before when UC hired a head coach 16 years ago, almost to the day.
Yeah.
Podcasts were a thing 16 years ago?
Yep. 2006.
Where,
we did.
Where would you go to download a podcast 16 years ago?
Line.
So it was a live. Son of a bitch. It was like a it was like
the best thing you've ever said ever.
Ever? Wow, the bar's
LimeWire? I didn't expect you to pull that one out. That was fantastic.
Mom has the door closed because you're too loud.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you left it open.
No, like she has her upstairs bedroom door closed.
Oh yeah, we're loud. I know.
No, you're loud.
Yeah,
You see a super fan.
well, they're loud too, but
I'll be at church in the morning.
you can only hear them here.
You're loud, and Mom's trying to sleep.
I'm letting family things be family things.
Yeah. Both UCF super fans comment.
Kid was yelling at me. Mom's trying to sleep, and you're too loud.
That's why I took you off the.
I agree with this comment.
UCF Superfan says, I have a favor to ask. I'll be at church in the morning, so please don't cuss on the podcast while I'm listening.
Well, tomorrow morning will be the Bearcat Brunch, and they don't cuss on that podcast.
I also don't remember if about an hour and a half ago when somebody said that I need to know who the coach is before I'm in church and have to yell out a cuss word. I don't know if that was UCF Superfan or not, but I think we're still on that same wavelength there.
I was going to say Napster, Jeff. That's funny too.
Risking your family computer to download Flow Rida on LimeWire was the move.
Yeah, that's so true. I remember when YouTube was up and coming.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Anyway. All right. I don't know. I don't know where chat went.
I'm texting.
Okay.
Missed you guys today. Felt like we should have been at Nippert together.
Should have been a Nippert game today. Although
bumping elbows.
Although watching Tulane today,
that was nice.
They deserved it.
Yeah, that was nice.
They were the best team in the conference, bar none. I don't think that's even arguable at this point. I also kind of love that UCF had burned the 4 games that they could use Mikey Keene for, so Mikey Keene sat out today to not lose a year of eligibility. That's on you, UCF.
Wild. Yeah.
That's on UCF. They should have started him from the beginning. He was the best quarterback they had.
Yeah. Right. Well, my friend told me that, and I was like wondering where the communication was at during the season to not know those things.
They didn't want to put him in the game against UC, clearly. They did only put him in after their quarterback was a wobbly deer.
A wobbly deer.
There's no other way to describe him at that point in time.
Wobbly deer.
But yeah, I mean, you can't fault a kid for not wanting to lose a year of eligibility in that.
Right? No, he
scenario.
made the right call for him. Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Malzahn was pissed and probably tried to talk him into it about 17 different ways.
I mean, is that selfish? For
Gus Malzahn? Yes.
No. Are you supposed to have like a team mentality, or are you going to say like I'm going to do what's best for
I'm not mad at the way Mikey Keene handled himself. He should have won the job, but Gus Malzahn wanted his guy that he brought in John Rice Plumlee. So yeah, no, I'm not mad at all the way that Mikey Keene handled himself. He should have done exactly that, and there's not a shot in hell he's playing for UCF next year.
I mean, I think you got to do what's best for you, especially in the current college football climate. Like,
absolutely,
no one's going to look out for you but you. So I'm sure his team is pissed. I'm sure coach was pissed, but I feel like that should have been one of those things that was discussed at the beginning of the season. You know, how many games am I going to play, and what games do I play? Well,
my cousin went to UCF, and when I was down there, I tailgated with him and some of his friends and all of that before I went into the game. No, I still kept my rule where I don't drink before I go into games, just for anybody wondering. But they were talking about how Mikey Keene, even before that game, they were talking about John Rice Plumlee wasn't the guy. None of the fans wanted John Rice Plumlee, and Malzahn was still sticking to his guns. But you had a guy in Mikey Keene where they didn't expect anything to transpire the way it did. And to win a game with Mikey Keene at the helm, of course, complicated everything for Gus Malzahn. But yeah, I'm still not at all mad at the way that he conducted himself. And I don't know, it's tricky, of course, when you get into games and how many games you can play before you burn a year and all of that. But yeah, again, Tulane was obviously the team of the year for this conference, and hats off to them.
If we couldn't have played for the trophy, I would have loved for Tulane to have won.
Sure.
They did. So case scenario, that is what happened.
I have nothing but respect for Tulane. They didn't talk shit. They weren't fake tough guys.
Yeah.
They weren't out of pocket. They were like, look, we're better than you. And I respect the shit out of that.
Best season they've had since what, like 1998?
1939
Yes.
was the last time they played the major.
I was like the 1930s.
Right.
That's crazy.
They've been to a major bowl game.
Well, they were also in the SEC for a while before they got.
They were one of the founding people in the SEC.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a guest, a final guest to close this show out. His name is Justin Williams.
You're wearing him down, or are you waiting for him to?
I'm leaning on him heavy to join the show for 10 minutes.
Waiting for him to get done with the bottle.
Well, no, he just put up an update. He just released. If you're not subscribed to The Athletic, please do so. Justin is a friend of the program. Justin is an awesome dude. If you're following Bearcat Athletics, you should be doing Bearcat Journal and The Athletic.
I'm pretty sure they have a $1. I think they still have the deal going on where it's $1 a month.
Yeah,
I think that's correct.
So we're waiting on hopefully Justin to pop on as a reward for the 325 of you that have been here for an hour and 40 minutes through a lot of the nonsense that has ensued. But yeah, so it fire some questions away so we got something to talk about until hopefully Justin shows up. How about that? We'll have Reagan answer all of them.
Oh yeah, I love this game.
Questions for Reagan. Everybody fire off questions for Reagan.
I'm going to hop out briefly. No, I'll be back. I'm just going to hop out briefly.
Okay.
See you later. UCF man says, I did, but you didn't answer.
Well, put it back in the chat.
I don't know. Let's not. I feel like the question is self-explanatory.
What's your favorite potato chip? I will tell you mine right now. I have been on a binge lately on chips.
Oh, I'm always on a binge of chips.
Cool Ranch Doritos.
Really?
Yeah.
You
don't like Cool Ranch Doritos?
There are just better chips out there.
I'm not saying there's not better chips out there. I'm saying just of late.
Okay.
I've been on a Cool Ranch Doritos kick.
Totally fair.
My favorite chips right now are the Voodoo from
You stole the words right out of my mouth, Chad.
Those are my favorite chips. If I'm doing a sandwich with lunch, I need the Voodoo chips.
Yep. That's a good chip.
If I'm snacking late at night, I want Cool Ranch Doritos because they're a flavor explosion. Especially when you get one of those Cool Ranch Doritos that's got all the seasoning on them.
Oh yeah, the dust.
Yeah, when you get the strong dusted chip, you're like,
oh yeah, yeah. Any kind of kettle chip, crunchy.
I love kettle chips. I'm with you on that. I like a jalapeno kettle chip.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
These are Zapp's Spicy Cajun Crawtator.
Don't like those.
Really? Mm-mm. It's the same company.
I know. Don't like them.
UCF super fan wants to know, why is it when you dig a hole, you never have enough dirt to fill it back in?
Lie awake thinking about it, UCF super fan.
D Nooms said, and that's a new one. I don't think I've seen D Nooms in the chat before. Played more like the clean wave than the green wave. I tell you what. You're right. They were clean. I enjoyed that. You have to hire a Ted Lasso coach from another sport to try and succeed. Who you got? I don't know, Charlie. I heard a guy on the other line about some white walls.
I love that show.
Lou Brown is my favorite fictional movie coach of all time. Don't give me that Olay bullshit.
Were you on here the other day doing your Coach O impression?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I heard that.
You may run like Mays, but you hit like shit. That's my Lou Brown. I love Coach O, but Coach O's not fictional. Coach O doesn't count in this category.
I have no idea what Coach O ever says.
Why are there only 5 likes? Yeah, get the likes up, people. Come on.
Get the subs up, get the likes up. We're actually almost to 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm really proud of that. So
Yeah, at
Go
Bearcat
ahead.
Journal on
Hop on
Instagram.
over to Instagram. Follow our Instagram.
If you're on TikTok, at Bearcat Journal on TikTok, you can find Reagan there as well. Don't really care for any Dorito.
That's a hot take if I've ever heard one.
I'm just an original, like an original Dorito or a Cool Ranch.
Spicy nacho is the best.
You know what? I had a flaming hot Cool Ranch Dorito, and let me tell you, that was bad.
Tonk. Sheesh, I'm late. Heard Brent was out here throwing the dollar bills. Hopefully some good news here soon. Yeah. Brent dropped 100 from the stands of the Big Ten title game. So
after Todd Cunningham made it a thing.
Yeah, Todd dropped a hundo, and then Brent followed with a hundo. The Big Ten title game, we're still alive here. Michigan's up 9 at the start of the fourth quarter. Somehow that game is only at the start of the fourth quarter. What the shit is going on? That game started 3 hours ago.
I know, that's what I was watching before I came here.
Flaming hot Cool Ranch. I'm not a flaming hot, like, I like spicy stuff, but like the flaming hot stuff, I don't.
That was
not
gross.
really my.
Flaming hot Cool Ranch was gross.
I've never had one, so I couldn't answer. I don't really do the flaming hot.
Brian wants to know where I got my nose ring, and I will tell you, Brian. I got it from my lovely husband, who got it for me as a graduation gift.
So your husband punched a hole in your nose?
He got my nose rings from the North Side, whatever that piercing shop is.
So he didn't do the piercing himself; he just bought it. He paid for it.
Got my hoops.
Okay. Who's the best safety duo in UC history?
I don't have an answer to that.
So, I mean, with what Derek Forrest is doing in the NFL, I think you have to do a Derek Forrest combo.
Which side, though? Which side are you going, Chad?
Well, Derek, it would clearly be for me if Derek played full time with Brian Cook. It would be Forrest and Brian Cook, but they didn't. Cook didn't take over until Forrest was gone, so I think you have to go Forrest and Wiggins.
I think that's the answer, but yeah, if it was Defoe and Cook, man.
I mean, Haruki was unbelievable, and
they found us, Chad.
Taco Doritos are the GOAT. I mean, Nakamura, and I mean, I think Haruki graduated the year before. Underwood was like the mainstay. I just think you have to go like Defoe and Wig. I think you have to. Nakamura was awesome. I just don't know that you can give it to.
He was there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I see Haruki a lot. So Haruki's always at like when they do the captain's breakfast at the end of spring football.
Wiggins had the best safety season we've ever seen from UC safety.
Aaron, can you send Justin the link
on it
again?
Yep. You have to send him one before this to send him one again.
I did send him one, but I guess it got lost in his email. I don't know.
Did we already talk about the playoff order now that USC lost and TCU lost?
You have to put TCU still in, I think.
100%. I don't disagree. I think Georgia, right? Michigan, Ohio State.
As long as Michigan wins this game.
Michigan, Ohio State, and then TCU, right?
I think that's right. I think. I just don't know what other. I mean, the only other option is 3-loss or Alabama.
No, you would have to put Tennessee over Alabama.
Well, I know you hate Alabama. I know you hate
Alabama. No, Tennessee beat Alabama.
I know. That doesn't mean that Tennessee gets in over Alabama.
I can fight you on that.
Kevin Brown and Aaron Chenault were a nice duo. I agree. I just don't know that they're, the best you could ever do, per se. I, 'cause, 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 ' OSU Michigan rematch. Like I think we might get that. We might be stuck with that.
I'm okay with that though. I'm not complaining about that.
Based on the way Michigan just punked Ohio State, like I'd love to watch it again.
100%. They got a chip on their shoulder. I think Michigan's the better team at this point.
How do you bump Michigan out and keep TCU in if Michigan loses? Michigan's resume is still. I don't think, Mitch, I don't agree with that at all. Michigan's out of conference is trash. And they did not play as many good teams as TCU did, as many top 25 teams as TCU did. No.
TCU played 6 ranked top
teams,
25 teams.
Oh, hey.
I like the hat. Is that an omen of things to come, Justin?
No, it was. I've been scrambling all day and look like hell, so I better put a hat on.
All right, go ahead. Get the sales pitch in. Get the athletic thing, the promotion thing, the article thing. Do your Justin Williams sales pitch right here.
Please subscribe. Please subscribe to The Athletic. I have 3 small children, and if they weren't all asleep, I would parade them out here to shill for.
Kelsey's been in the background of a lot of this show. She showed up in her Travis Kelce jersey.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Bold.
But no. So I just
no pants.
Have you talked about it?
What?
The update I just put out?
No, I was waiting for you so you could do your thing. I didn't want to misrepresent you.
You're very kind.
You're putting a name out there that I had on the board and I took off the board, and now you're circling back to this name. So this is you.
We don't drop subscriber related content
right
here without the person who wrote the article, Justin.
Okay, that's very kind of you guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, there's Aaron. Hi. Yeah, so I did the same thing. I had Mo Linguist, the Buffalo coach, on like the first 2 versions of my candidate list. It seemed like it had totally quieted down and moved off of him heading into Friday. So I did not have him as I removed him from the Thursday list heading into Friday. Found out today that Mo Linguist is still very much a candidate. The Buffalo head coach, they played, and I had actually forgotten this during the week leading up.
This is where we both, I think, got lost in the sauce.
They played on Friday.
Reference here, right? They played on Friday. They weren't supposed to play on Friday, but the snowstorm cost them a game. Right. Because they weren't playing in the MAC championship, they decided to play on Friday.
I'm still hurting from the MAC championship, by the way. It was a rough
okay?
day for my Bobcats.
You need a hug?
No, it's okay. I appreciate it. So yeah, I honestly spaced that they played on Friday. I don't necessarily think that changed anything. I think it just had to put Linguist on hold from what I understand, because he's obviously coaching that game. They came back and won. Buffalo's bowl eligible. But I think it kind of circled back to him today, Saturday, and heading into Sunday, Sean Lewis, which I know is a name you've been reporting and I've had on my list. As far as I can tell, he's still a finalist. Mo Linguist, Buffalo head coach.
Moved back from what I've heard from the top of the list to move back a little bit for Sean Lewis.
Yeah, I think it's quieted it on him over the past 36 hours or so, and I don't know if that was because
I'm not saying he's out. I'm just saying
right. I don't know.
Maybe
if
not as much heat as was there yesterday.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not, as both you and I have been saying this whole time, I'm not prepared to say that it's like these 2 guys and that's it. Cunningham, I tip my cap to him. Furiously tip my cap to him. He is of zero help in this situation, which I guess is good for him. Not good for us. But I'm not going to put it past that there's somebody else, involved in this, or there's still other finalists. I put in my update that obviously Alex Golish, as I was writing this, he gets announced as the hire for USF. So very clearly he's not in consideration. I think that had happened over the past.
We were both told last night that he had dropped down the list.
Yeah. And then Gino Gaduli is out. I'll be honest, I've not been able to confirm that Kerry Combs is out, but I would be surprised if he was still a finalist. But I don't know. He's All I know is
no one has told me Kerry Combs is out.
No.
You?
In fact, I've over the course of the week, I've been told the opposite. Like, don't count Kerry Combs out. So considering what happened with Mo Linguist, I'm not taking Kerry Combs off the list just because I have not been able to confirm that. But I think we're, as we kind of predicted all along, and a lot of people did, I think we're heading towards a resolution tomorrow. I think it took a couple twists and turns here the past few days. So despite giving that all away, you should still subscribe to The Athletic.
Well, no, I mean, if you want the context is in the article.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's where the context is. And guess what? And at some point over the next 48 hours, there's going to be a coach announced. There's going to be a press conference. You're going to do a better job writing about it than me. I'm going to do a better job talking about it than you.
Yes.
We have established.
You will talk a lot about it. You're on the radio. You're on podcasts.
We have 343 people in this room at 11:30 on a Saturday night.
It's our biggest show ever, Justin.
I remember Mo once telling me that his sorry Mo, that his ex-wife once like referred to his radio voice, like you're using your radio voice. Do you kind of always sound the same, Chad, but I don't. Does Kelly ever be like, hey, we're not doing the podcast right now, just
so I'm a lot louder.
Grill me some chicken.
When there's a microphone in front of my face, I'm a lot louder, and I'm loud all the time. Like I'm loud all the time. But when there's a microphone in front of my face, I'm a lot louder. Kelsey just came down and informed me Mom has closed the door to the bedroom, and that she was closing the door to my office because Mom is trying to sleep, and Chad is downstairs doing content in the biggest room that we've ever had in the history of the YouTube channel. So yeah, like there's, I still think one of these days, Justin, we're going to have to mic up for a Wired Wednesday. If we're allowed, the problem is I don't know that we're ever going to be allowed to practice again.
Don't say that.
We'll see. I don't know. Have you guys talked about it all? Like I probably got about 5 more minutes, but I don't know a ton about both these guys. I know a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for the donation, Colin. I did mention that Justin was coming on and that he had a shelf of awards, but
no shelf.
Not behind you anyway.
Where have you placed the awards? Where are the awards?
In his garage under a blanket.
No, I mean
too many sharp objects on the awards for kids.
That's okay, yeah. Justin. You can flex.
No, I don't have.
You have awards. Where are the damn awards?
He's like, oh,
this is a Seinfeld birthday card my sister gave me a year ago. Let's see what else. I got some art over here. Anyways,
stickers. I've added stickers to the mix.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
After Mo came on, it was embarrassing, actually.
Yeah. Well, Mo gets every bobblehead the Reds have ever put out. Mo gets it for free.
Yes.
And then he just puts it on the thing behind him.
Mo has quite the setup.
They gave him a free, like the old 92 logo. They gave him a free one of those. They gave him a free 60s era throwback from Sed McGowan that he showed us.
Did you want a memento from Luke before he left? Is that what you're saying?
No, he gave me a hug. So it's okay. We're good. I have the video still of Luke giving me a hug. So, Justin, any heat to Sumrall? Is there any, like...
I haven't heard any.
Me either. And I think he would be an awesome hire, and he would be the perfect mystery candidate, I think. But I have not heard anyone tell me Sumrall is someone that could get this job.
No, I haven't heard it. What is his, like, what does he have? Because that's the thing about Linguist. Like, he has the ties to Cunningham. They spent a year together at Minnesota.
He's a Kentucky guy.
Okay, so that's a little bit. Linguist doesn't necessarily have like Ohio, Cincinnati ties. Now, when you're coaching at Buffalo, you're recruiting Ohio a lot, especially because that's the MAC footprint anyway. So I don't want to make it seem like this guy, has never been in the state of Ohio recruiting or anything like that.
Thanks for the donation, Andrew.
But Yeah, I don't know a ton about Sumrall's background. It's kind of the same way like Kurt Signetti, I know, has been out there. Other people have mentioned
I
it.
think he'd be a great hire. I just haven't heard his name.
I haven't either. And so like that's, this is a good example. I can only kind of put out there what I know. I haven't heard Sumrall. I haven't heard Signetti. I had not heard Deion, which is why I never put Deion on a list. But me not hearing it does not mean that they didn't get contacted at some point, that they didn't do a Zoom, that they're not still in contention. So I haven't done a ton of background on Sumrall because haven't heard his name, but he seems like a good coach. We
both have developed a great understanding for this. At some point in time, sometimes you just need to say, I don't know. Like, here's what I'm hearing. I'm doing everything possible. I'm working my ass off. But I call, like, we've talked about stuff. I've called my sources. Those sources have said, well, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. And then I'd circle to a different source, and they're saying, well, I'm hearing this that conflicts with that. And then there's a fourth source that's like, well, I don't think any of these people are right. Like, covering this thing has been wild as shit.
And that's Cunningham's fault because he has all the answers and he's not giving anything out. Anybody. This would be a lot easier. But no, I'm with you. And that's, the linguist thing's a good example. I took him off my list. I thought he was out.
Me too.
And
Me too.
It turns out he wasn't. And I'm glad I was able to.
I was told not to take him off my list, and I did. And you know who told me that. And that person is very good at all this. And Justin, I still did.
We heard Mo Linguist, Mo Problems. Is that true?
Look, all I've heard about the guy, like I know people are going to look at his record. He's only been a head coach both for 2 years. It's kind of the same thing with Sean Lewis. Sean Lewis, I think you hear a little bit more about, obviously he's an offensive guy. He's a good football mind. Thing immediately people say about Mo Linguist is like, players are going to love him. Recruits are going to love him. He has, I think, a pretty impressive background, some Big 12 experience, was in the NFL for a little bit. He's obviously defensive minded. So I think it'll be interesting to see if we're down to these.
A lot of what we've heard through this. Right?
He doesn't now, but the thing he does fit is, and you can see this in a lot of the hires John Cunningham's made, not on the field, on the court, but on staff, people that he has previous connections with that he trusts. Obviously he was only together with Linguist at Minnesota for a year, but was some connection that was built. But I think it'll be interesting to see. Again, we don't know. It's just these two guys. These two guys are head coaches, so head coaching experience seems to be at a premium in this search. One's offense, one defense. I'm kind of interested to see which way Cunningham goes in that regard.
Read that, Justin. Cunningham is so leaky to repeat his pants and still be there 5 hours later.
Golf pants.
The Thrifty Walrus is maybe our he's not new, but like he's been more active lately. And the Thrifty Walrus might be the funniest guy in the chat. Holy crap. I think we can end this thing, Justin. I know you got shit to do, and we're going to be at Fifth Third Arena in like 11 hours, whatever the case may be. Yeah. I'm not confident in saying I know anything. I think I know some things. I think I have a feeling, but if it comes from out of left field, I'm going to be like, yeah, came from out of left field.
Yeah, no, I've been the same way. Like I feel for the most part good about the stuff I've been putting out, but as I've tried to say, and I know you have too, that doesn't mean that it's an all-encompassing,
doesn't mean it's right.
complete list, because I feel good in the stuff I'm hearing, but there's probably stuff I'm not hearing that's going on. So I guess at this point I would be surprised if it's not one of those two guys, Sean Lewis, Mo Linguist, but I won't be like flabbergasted.
All right. Well, you have a delightful night, buddy. And we'll talk again tomorrow. Daniel Jacobs said that was him. You're welcome for the Mo Linguist, Mo Problems.
Second donation of the night. We thank you, Daniel Jacobs and Colin Baker. Justin, that trust is why JC's battleship has no leaks. Thank you.
Look, man, there's no leaks. I've tried to find and Justin has too.
Why he's
every
holed
leak
up
humanly possible.
That's why he's holed up in his bunker basement.
There are no leaks.
Hostage. Someone needs to go help him.
Somebody might be held hostage in his basement. You're right.
Oh,
He did this himself.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow
I don't know when the
afternoon.
hell we'll see you,
Afternoon.
but we'll see all of you again. There they go, Aaron. They're
they
back.
found us again.
The fun girls are back.
Well, that's a different one.
This is the biggest show we've ever done. So thank all of you a million times over. The donations have been insane. The interest has been insane. Thank you, Justin, for closing this out. And again, sell yourself. Do the thing.
Subscribe to The Athletic. Subscribe to Bearcat Journal.
How do they subscribe to The Athletic?
It's like $1 a month right now, right? 12 months for $12.
I think that deal's over.
Right, well,
It was
Cyber
a
Monday.
Cyber Monday, Black Friday deal. It didn't linger quite as long as Chad was able
They
to.
forgot to turn it off. It's not my fault.
But look, still, now's a good time to subscribe. Always.
And
How
follow Justin on Twitter.
How many people are going to be covering the Big 12 next year, Justin?
How many people?
Yeah, for The Athletic.
Oh,
Justin Williams.
I don't know.
Justin Williams.
I'll be there. Hopefully.
I'd heard it was just you, so it's Chad's fault.
Maybe beat writers.
Yeah. Justin Williams is going to be the
But
main Big 12 guy.
I kneel at the altar of Max Olson today.
We'll see you tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday. And thank you to Reagan. Thank you to
Appreciate
Mo
you
for
guys.
popping in. Thank you to Justin. This is the Nightcap. Wow, that was a wild one. Right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!